website has actually been viewed. It means that somebody landed on the website and displayed the page. It doesn't mean they necessarily looked at your ad, doesn't mean they clicked on it, it's just the ad was displayed. This is the same model that newspapers have had for years. Newspapers generally base their advertisement on their circulation, so they might say we have a daily circulation of 200,000 people, therefore our advertising rates are as follows. They know that not all 200,000 people are necessarily seeing the ad, but that's what they base it on. Paper impression is the same kind of thing. It's usually based on thousands of impressions. But the most common one these days is pay-per-click. Pay-per-click advertising is as it sounds. The advertiser is not charged unless somebody clicks on the ad. This is actually a great model for advertisers because there's really no risk. If they put an ad on somebody's website and no one clicks it, they aren't charged anything. Pay-per-click advertising is probably the easiest type of advertising for people who are just starting off a website to get into, because there are ways of putting pay-per-click ads on your site without actually having to go to talk to any advertisers or customers. And the most common way is Google Adsense. Google Adsense is Google's pay-per-click program. You've seen those little advertisements down the side of a Google search. Those same advertisements you probably have also seen on other people's websites. These are people who participate in the Adsense program. You put a little piece of code onto your site after you've been approved by Adsense, and the code generates a Google Adsense ad. If somebody clicks on that ad, they're taken off of your website onto the advertiser's site, and Google will split the revenue for that click with you. Actually, I think they give you somewhere in the neighborhood of about 60%, of the revenue. So let's say the ad, in this case, was worth $1, you would get 60 cents every time somebody clicked on it. Keep in mind when you're doing AdSense that although a lot of people can make a lot of money with AdSense, you are giving up something with it. When someone clicks on an AdSense ad, they are taken off of your website onto their site. There's no way to open it up in a new window or a tab that violates Google's terms of services. And you have to be very careful with Google's terms of services because they can cut you off the program just like that. Okay, and finally, we talked about bringing your existing business online. The most obvious method of doing that is an online store. Now, if you currently are selling products, etc., this is a no-brainer. You just basically add an online store onto your website, and now you can sell these products to a wider range of people. You can sell it to people across the country or even across the world if you wish, if you can handle the shipping and the customs things. Now, again, there are a lot of store plugins for WordPress. There are also shopping cart platforms like Magento for building a more robust store. Plus, there are services like Shopify that you can go to that will host your online store for you, so you don't even need to host it yourself. So, again, you could bring your existing business onto the internet and sell it to more people. Another type of a service you could add is just add an extra service onto your business. I'm thinking here along the lines of a restaurant. A restaurant could put its menu onto a mobile platform so that people who are actually standing just outside of the door of the restaurant can look at the menu. They could even go a little bit further and allow you to make reservations at the restaurant, or when you're in line for a table there, they could even get it so that you could be paged when your table is ready, etc. And this would be a value-added feature. It's not like a restaurant can expect that by going on the internet that they'll be serving customers on the other side of the world. It's not the nature of their business. But they can use stuff like this to enhance their existing business and make money on the net. And that basically are the 4 ways that you can make money in the internet. Now, a couple of resources for you. I didn't make a resource slide over here, but 2 resources that came to mind you might want to look at are 2 very popular forums, that being the Digital Point Forum and the Warrior Forum. Now, take that recommendation with a grain of salt. You can find a lot of fascinating and information on both of those sites. You can also find a lot of, quite frankly, bull on both of those sites. I mean, these sites are, they're forums, and people can give whatever opinions they want, and some people's opinions are to be taken, not too seriously. But there are a lot of active, good resources on those 2 particular forums. You might want to look at that. And so essentially, that's the presentation. If we have any questions, I'll be happy to take them right now. Yes?
What was the second forum you named, please?
I named the Digital Point Forum and the Warrior Forum. Yeah. Yes?
Types of advertising you mentioned, would you consider pay per action as part of CPC, or is that something separate?
That, I would guess I would call that as part of CPC. You're right, paper action is a different form of advertising because you actually don't get paid until somebody actually takes an actual action. So that is true. Some people do run paper action campaigns. So I guess you're right, that probably would be considered a fourth method of advertising. Paper performance is another similar type of way of doing that. Yes?
Any luck with Facebook ads?
Well, personally, not really, although I know some people who have had reasonable luck with it. It sort of seems to be what industry you happen to be in too. That really makes a big difference. The people I've known who have the best luck with it are actually in the music industry, haven't done too bad with Facebook ads. But of course, Facebook is a social platform, and people, you know, you can't just hit people with advertisements in the middle of that. People sort of automatically reject that, actually. Yes, any other questions? Okay, we'll take a very short break, and then we'll have Brendan up here to do his presentation.